In this powerful video, I'm going to talk about first why your fear exists and then why it is actually helpful for you. And it's not just this huge, debilitating, sabotaging thing that is upon you. I'm also going to talk about how you can choose faith over your fear once you understand the fear and you integrate the knowing about who you truly are in this reality. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Your Muse Traci. I'm your favorite manifestation coach. I am here to inspire you and empower you to live the life of your dreams, to create on purpose exactly what you want in all areas of your life, to stop settling and to stop suffering. You are not here to suffer. If that sounds good to you, you are more than welcome to subscribe to my channel. And if you're interested in any of my offerings, I have one-on-one coaching. I also have group coaching available. And the next group coaching program is going to start. I moved it up this year, so we're starting in January because I want to kick off 2025 in the highest way possible for all of you. So I moved up this offering. So we're starting in January. And I do still have this special offer for a payment plan available. It's a limited time, so it is going to go away. If you're interested, make sure you follow the links to check it out. And yeah, more details coming about that program. You can also follow the links down below and go to the page on my website and read more about what that program is all about. All right, so let's get into this video. I have done a couple of videos recently where I'm addressing fear. It seems to be helpful for you guys. And let's be honest, it's something that comes up not just for one person, but for just about everyone, if not everyone, myself included. And so fear it's a thing. It's a common thing. It's a almost universal thing in this 3D reality that we are in. And so it's relevant to talk about because you're not ever going to completely get rid of fear. You're not meant to, okay? But we can learn how to recognize it, and we can learn exactly what the purpose of fear is and exactly what to do with it. And that's what we're going to talk about in this video. So I first want to explain a little bit about where your fear comes from and the purpose of your fear. I'll even go as far as to call it the plan of your fear and how it is actually serving you and your highest ideal. Imagine that. So this realm that we are incarnated in at this time is based on duality and polarity. It is the realm of opposites and the realm of contrast, and we're here to experience contrast manifestation. So light, dark, good, bad, up, down, right, wrong, black, right, black, white, you get my point. So on and so forth. You can go on and on because everything literally has an opposite, okay? Everything has an opposite in order to exist here. That is, again, the realm that we're in. By definition, to exist here, you have to have this polar opposite thing going on. Okay. So it's the realm of relativity. And by knowing one side of this, opposite coin or opposite ends of a stick, whatever you want to call it, you can then know the other side of it or the other opposite. And let me give you something to contrast even this high level idea against so that you can more clearly understand what I'm talking about, because in a way it's sort of like that's all we know here. That's all we know. We only know up, down, left, right, good, bad, hot, cold. So what would, something that isn't like that be like? So in contrast to this is a realm of absolutes, non-duality, non-polarity. It is a realm of singularity where everything just is. So like a single point, there's nothing to compare or measure, in space. Where is the point? Well, you have to have 2 points to actually measure where the 1 point is, right? So it's the realm of singularity, oneness. Everything is, it's the absolute. It's the all that is. So there's nothing to compare and nothing to contrast. There are no opposites. So that's sort of the difference that I'm talking about. Okay, but back to our realm. Our reality is one of polarity and opposites, and it's also one of fear. Not only is it based on fear, but you absorb the fear and programming, or also known as your limiting beliefs, from your environment up to the age of 7. Now, this is not, just happening to some people. And it's not just like, oops, they absorbed limiting beliefs. No, no, it is actually by design. It's by design. Nothing is going wrong. And, your soul, your higher self, knew what it was stepping into. Okay. It knew exactly the environment you would be born into, and it essentially chose it. Now, please, before you react, understand that I'm not saying your human self chose this, okay? To the human mind, you might have a reaction hearing this type of information, especially if the environment that you were born into wasn't pleasant, okay? And you could feel like, from, again, your human perspective, how could this be chosen by anyone or anything? How could my soul choose this? But your soul, your higher self, knows the benefit of experiencing this type of contrast, limiting beliefs, limited concepts, right? And it knew the evolution you would experience from first experiencing this specific set of limiting experiences and limiting beliefs. You remember, you absorbed the limitations from your environment. You didn't look around and say, yeah, I don't believe any of this. You don't do that at a young age. Up to the age of 7, everything just goes in. So, you don't have this ability of discernment, and it's not, your brain is just, it's like a sponge. Everything just goes in. So it was by design, it was by plan from your higher self. And this does require you to step out of your human perspective of suffering and limitation and open to what your soul saw as an opportunity, or your higher self. So again, if you're having a reaction to this, I get it, but try to see it from this higher perspective that I'm trying to present here. Your human self, I totally get it. Why? But the higher perspective of your higher self and your soul, because again, from that realm too, that where, before you incarnated in this human experience, your soul knew that like nothing can actually go wrong. You can't be hurt. It's like I was talking about in one of my recent videos, where when you're having a dream that is unpleasant, scary, terrifying, nothing actually can harm you from that dream. Well, from your soul's perspective, incarnating into this human physical form, it knows that nothing can actually harm you, because you are not your physical body. You are not this human. You are a soul. You're God. You're so much more, having this human experience, and nothing in this human experience can actually harm you. But you can, evolve. And that is, of course, what your soul saw as an opportunity. So we are literally here in this realm to first experience so deeply what we are not, by, again, stepping into these limitations, so that we can learn to be introduced to information like this. I'm not the only one teaching this. Obviously, I had teachers, and I continue to learn from people. And so, but people are teaching this. And so you could be exposed to this information from many different places. And so you're exposed to this information about who you truly are, and you resonate with it, and you remember what and who you truly are as an infinite creator, infinite being. But so many people get stuck in what they are not, and, according to what they have experienced, they get stuck in that. They start to believe that they are that they are that limitation, that they are that limited being. And, they get stuck because they had that real experience, and they struggle to break out of that for one reason. One massive, seemingly massive reason, seemingly insurmountable reason, is fear. They fear that this limitation or the host of limitations that they experienced at an early age are real and true. And to again be exposed to this type of information, they struggle to apply the information and trust the information and connect with the truth about who they really are, which is an unlimited, powerful, limitless creator. They struggle to shift from the limitation into this limitless, powerful being in a human form because of fear. So fear, that thing that you are born into, this is that you fear that that's all that you truly are. And you fear that that's all you get to experience or all that is available to you. And nothing could be further from the truth, actually. Nothing could be further from the truth. And when you see that this fear, that experience, that limitation is what you are, when you see that that fear is not real, and you start, you guys, it's a process. You're not going to drop all of this limitation all at once. It's a process, but you start peeling back the layers of, limitation and fear little by little by little, alongside with remembering and understanding and resonating with who you truly are. And you start to let go, and you can and will shed those layers and step more fully into the truth of who you are. But likewise, if you try to carry those limitations or ignore the limitations and the fears, and you're actually doing yourself a disservice by ignoring the fear and ignoring the limitation. The way out isn't denial or suppression or ignoring. The way out is through. And again, your higher self knew this. And that's exactly why it brought you into the limitation, into the environment where it knew you were going to absorb these limitations, because the way to evolve out of the limitations is through it. Again, the way out is through. There's no other way. We can't really just get around it. That's the whole point. So that's why your higher self brought you right into the environment where you would be experiencing the limitations. So you first have the experience of what you're not, so that you can have the experience of who you truly are. Like if you just stepped into this, physical 3D reality with no limitations, with all of your power, remembering who you are, what would be the point, really? So then you can't have the experience of truly knowing who you are, and without having the experience of what you are not. And I know this is, when I was first exposed to this type of information, I couldn't even, it kind of twisted me up. So I hope you're following along. I hope this is making sense. I hope that I am shedding light on fear, and how fear of your experiences being all that is, all that's available, all that's possible, all that is real is false. And little by little, your job is to remember who you are and shed the layers and call out your fear. Look at the fear. The fear is showing you what where your truth is. Fear is not real. Let's take an example. So if you are fearing that, maybe you were born into lack in terms of abundance, and if you feel like, well, that is what's possible for me, that's all that's possible. Maybe you fear that that's all that you're ever going to be able to experience. And, the fear, that exact fear, is showing you what is false. It's showing you what is false. Now, your job is to see the fear and understand, when I fear something, that is not real. Okay, well, let me look at what the falsity is here. So I'm fearing that I won't be able to be, financially abundant. Well, why wouldn't I be able to be financially abundant? how does that make sense? Financial abundance is available to everyone. Why wouldn't it be available to me? Right? So now your fear is giving you an insight into that limiting belief and the limited programming that is inside of you. So your fear is actually helpful. That's why I want you guys to understand the way out is not by ignoring and suppressing and just denying that you have the fear in the first place. No, look at the fear and look at what it is showing you and telling you. Don't believe it. Don't believe it. You have to learn how to not believe the fear, but look at what it is showing you. Oh, look at that. I believe that I'm not, maybe worthy of being financially free and abundant. Okay, well, that's not true. That's false. So I'm going to choose now, decide, remind myself that I am starting to believe, I'm intending to believe that I am financially free, that I'm financially abundant. So this is how your fear is helpful for you. And this is, you can choose to have fear or you can choose to have faith. Either way, you're believing in something. You're putting your belief in something. Fear is also a form of faith. It's just faith in unwanted things. So remember that when you're fearing things, yet you have no proof of them going forward. Choose to put your faith, belief in things that you do want, which maybe you also don't have proof of. But, again, you're having faith one way or the other. So, again, you are having this experience, you have this experience in the beginning, and you have these limitations. So you have something to rise out of and contrast your experience against. This is the realm of contrast manifestation. By knowing what you are not, you know more clearly what and who you truly are. By knowing what you don't want, you know more clearly what you do want. Just don't get stuck in what you are not and what you don't want. Again, this is where a lot of people get stuck. This is where most people get stuck. You are not meant to be stuck here. Remember that. You are experiencing contrast for the purpose of choosing what you would prefer. It's always the case. If fear is your only obstacle, by the way, and fear isn't real, then what does that mean? There are no real obstacles. There are no real limitations. Only fear of limitation. It's only the fear of limitation that we make real, but you don't have to do that. You can make a new decision. You can choose to believe in something different. You can choose to believe anything you want is possible. You can choose anything you want, and that is your freedom and free will. But to do this, you need the foundational pieces that I speak about in every single one of my videos. You need the foundation of knowing who you are, knowing how this reality works, and literally having just the smallest, tiniest little piece of trust and faith in that knowing of who you are. You can start with the tiniest bit of faith and it will grow, but you have to choose to have a little bit of faith from wherever you are starting from, right? Because without that little tiny seed of faith, how can you get to have more faith? So I want to add one more thing before I close. This is a process of releasing and overcoming your fears. It is a moment to moment to moment decision and discipline of your mind, a moment to moment remembering of who you are and the truth of who you are. Just because you remember it in one moment doesn't mean you will for forever more remember it. So you have to develop the discipline and the practice and know that with this mindset, it only gets easier and easier. And, also your fears, move with you as you grow and expand, as you release more limiting beliefs and realize more of, the life, the abundance, the love, the success, everything that you're meant to be experiencing. As you expand your fear, you'll reveal another level of fear that you may be holding inside of you. Nothing is going wrong at all. And your job is to recognize the fear and rinse and repeat. Do the process over again. See it as not real. Understand that you don't have to put your belief in that fear. You can choose to have faith in the unseen, in your desire, in what you know is available to you, because everything is available to you. You're an infinite, unlimited, powerful creator. That is the truth of your being. The limitations, the lack, the stories that you were born into, those are not real. Again, it was by design, okay, for you to have this limiting experience and then to remember the truth about yourself and have something to rise out of. So don't get stuck in the limitation and the fear. It's not real. All right, you guys, I'm sending you so much love in the new year. Check out the links for my group program coming up starting really soon. Sending you so much love and bliss and all the happiness in the new year. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.